Welcome to today's change of command ceremony, the retirement ceremony. Captain Matthew Schlarman will be relieved as commanding officer, Naval Station Norfolk, by Captain Lynn. The change of command ceremony is a time-honored tradition which formally restates the continuity of the authority of command. This simple transition is duplicated throughout the navies of the world as each watch officer passes responsibility to his or her relief in the conduct of each command's routine, whether ashore or afloat. Will the guests please rise for the arrival of the official party, remain standing until the conclusion of the invocation. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Naval Station Norfolk, arriving. Commander, Navy Region, Mid-Atlantic, arriving. Color guard, parade the colors.
Parade colors aye, sir. Color guard stand by. Attention. Shoulder, arms. Ready to forward, march. March time, march. Color guard, pull. Left face. Present arm. Retire the colors. Retire the colors aye, sir. Color guard, shoulder, arms. Ready to right face. Forward, march.
Bosun, post the sideways.
Aye, sir. Side boys, right or left, face. Oh.
Commander Brandon Hood, Naval Station Norfolk Command Chaplain, will now offer the invocation.
Let us pray chapter 20. But he called to them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them. It shall not be so among you. But whoever would be great among you must be your servant, and whoever would be first among you must be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Good Shepherd, thank you for Captain Schlarn, his legacy of servant leadership, kind compassion, humility, and excellence. Please go before him, Kelly, Ben, Lucy, Gabby, Avery, Darlene, and Patrick, blessing them above all that we could ask for or imagine, as we ask you to empower us as servant leaders to emulate his example and make a difference. For you came to serve Emmanuel. You are God with us. Amen.
Will the guests please be seated? Military members may unpack. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Matt Hartman will introduce today's change of command guest speaker, Rear Admiral Stephen Barnett, Commander, Navy Region Mid-Atlantic.
Morning, everybody. Morning. Good morning. It's all right. I want to say morning to all the admirals that showed up today, commanding officers, fellow base commanding officers out there, senior leaders, colleagues, friends, and family. I know you all have very busy schedules, and I appreciate you being here today, so thank you. A warm welcome to Congresswoman Kiggins, Mr. Tom Krabs from the Governor's Office, Naval Station Norfolk's Ombudsman, Chelsea Rampley, and our Gold Star mothers and families. Thank you for all you do and continue to do for Naval Station Norfolk. City officials, state officials, commanding officers, senior leaders, colleagues, friends, and family, I know you all have extremely busy schedules, and it's an honor to have you attend this ceremony. Before I introduce today's guest speaker and presiding officer, I'd like to thank everyone who made this ceremony possible. Fanny and her amazing team here at Vista Point, you all simply make it happen each and every day. Also, a huge thank you to our very own color guard and the Navy Region Mid-Atlantic Honor Guard. Thank you for being here today. Lastly, a formal ceremony such as this is not complete without the United States Fleet Forces. You are all first-class professionals who truly take these events to the next level. Thank you for your support of Naval Station Norfolk and for being here today. It is indeed my honor to introduce today's presiding officer, Commander, Navy Region Mid-Atlantic, Rear Admiral Stephen Barnett. As the leader of the largest region in all Navy Installation Command, Rear Admiral Barnett understands that installations are the foundation of fleet readiness. Naval Station Norfolk, the largest naval station in the world, a critical role of protecting maritime power and sustaining combat capability across the globe. His clear vision and decisive leadership ensure that we remain ready to support that mission every single day. Sir, thank you for your leadership, your trust, and your steady guidance throughout my time in command. You're my 4th regional commander in 3 years. May I say you're my favorite, sir? Your commitment to warfighting, readiness, discipline, execution, and taking care of sailors sets the standard for all of us privileged to serve under your leadership. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Rear Admiral Barnett.
Okay. I'm glad I'm your favorite. I guess I'm also your last.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished visitors, shipmates, Navy families, good morning. Thank you. We're here today at Naval Station Norfolk, as Squeeze says, the largest naval installation in the world, to observe one of the most enduring traditions, the formal relief of command, to be followed by the formal retirement. This ceremony is not simply about titles or the orders on a page. It represents trust. The trust the United States Navy puts in its leaders to guide sailors, to support the fleet, and to take care of our families. It reflects our shared commitment, our commitment to the Chief of Naval Operations. His priorities are straightforward: strengthen warfighting readiness, build high-velocity learning, and achieve real and tangible results for our people. And to recognize Squeeze, who served as commanding officer of this beautiful installation since August of 2024. He led this installation through complex operations, through demands, while ensuring one thing was steady, that's uninterrupted fleet support. Under his leadership, we improved readiness and we enhanced the all-important quality of life services for our sailors and for their families. This work directly advanced Casino's guidance to keep the fleet ready and to take care of our people. Under his leadership, Naval Station Norfolk has directly and directed over 3,000 ship movements. Think about that, particularly for all the SWOs in here. That's a lot of movements. Supported multiple carrier strike groups, multiple ARDs, oversaw thousands of flight operations, and safe to handle ordnance and all fueling evolutions. All this done while reinforcing a culture rooted in safety and in mission excellence. And as you know, in recognition of those efforts, this very installation, where we are right now, was selected as the 2025 Commander-in-Chief Installation Excellence Award. It was a testament to the professionalism and the teamwork of every sailor, every civilian, and every leader who makes this place exceptional. Admiral William H. Craven once said it like this: "It's not the size of the task that matters, it's the willingness of the people to do it." And you've demonstrated that time and time again. You're willing, you're capable, you're resilient. So, before I continue, I would like to honor the families. Leadership at this level is not a solitary endeavor, and we know that. Each of you has shared in the long hours, the unexpected challenges, and the countless sacrifices that come with service. Your resilience and your support made this command possible, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I'm personally grateful for your dedication, and so is the Navy, and I'd like to give you a round of applause. I'd also like to take a quick moment to acknowledge the vital role that this great installation plays, not just within the Navy, but within the broader Norfolk and Hampton Roads community. From the unforgettable Operation MWR concerts, I know it was a pain. I don't know if they parked on the grass, I'm sure they did. But it brought thousands together in celebration of service, celebration of sacrifice, to a community events that bring families and neighbors onto the base. These initiatives, these very initiatives, remind us that our strength is not just measured by readiness metrics, but by connection, but by partnership, and a shared purpose. We've all heard of the leadership author, John Maxwell. He once said this: "People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." Amen. And this installation is cared for its sailors, it's cared for its families, and it's also cared for its community. So now, as one leader transitions, another one steps forward. Proud to welcome Captain Ray Glenn as the new incoming commanding officer of the Naval Station Norfolk. He needs no introduction here. You heard him earlier. In his excellent duties. But you gotta give that up. His transition from the office to the next may only be a few feet, but it represents a continuity, steady, capable leadership, which is what we have. Captain Glenn assumes command of installation that plays a critical role in enabling warfighter readiness. Does it across the fleet. The Navy selected him. We selected him with full confidence in his ability to lead. He's going to do just that. He's going to lead this command with integrity, with vision, with the same commitment to our sailors, civilians, and the families that make this place great. Kimberly, it's good to see you again. 9 months since her regard, it's good to be here. But thank you and the family for the support that you provide. Your role in this command community is immeasurable. I know you have to put up with him and keep him straight, so we appreciate that. If If I had a bill to give you, I'd give it to you in advance, but I'll thanks for your support of your safety. To the sailors, to the civilians, and the contractors of Naval Station Norfolk, you are the foundation of the installation. Your professionalism, dedication ensure we remain ready to support the fleet, defend the nation, and take care of our families. And all the families that are here today, those watching from afar, thank you. Your strength enables mission success every day. So in closing, Squeeze, my friend, let me say thank you. I would like to think that this weather came from Whitby for us. I love the weather. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to the team here at Naval Station Norfolk. You represent the very best of who we are and what we represent. Now, Captain Glenn, it's time to get to work. You got it. This wouldn't be a speech from me if I didn't say this. Go Navy, fly Navy, and always be Army. Thank you.
Rear Admiral Barnett will now present Captain Schlarman with his End of Tour Award, the Legion of Merit. Will guests please rise for the presentation of the award? As a reminder, military guests will remain uncovered. Attention to award. For exceptional meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service as Executive Officer and Commanding Officer for Naval Station Norfolk from February 2023 to February of 2026. Captain Schlarman's strategic foresight and solution-based leadership proved vital to the Navy's largest and most complex installation, sustaining readiness across maritime aviation and cyber domains. A superb professional, he ensured uninterrupted operations of the Navy's most dynamic port, directing 2,900 ship movements, 20,800 birthdays, and 374 fueling evolutions, in support of 3 carrier strike groups, 3 amphibious readiness groups, submarines, coalition partners, all while fostering a culture of safety through 1,300 inspections and 1.4 million pounds of ordnance handled with 0 mishaps. This flawless leadership of Chambers Field enabled 120,000 mishap-free flight operations, the safety movement of 32,000 passengers and 18,000 tons of cargo, the completion of $150 million in airfield improvements that dramatically increased the efficiency of operations for 5 forward combatant commands. His leadership and vision culminated in the Naval Station Norfolk receiving 2025 Commander-in-Chief's Installation Excellence Award, affirming the installation's role as the premier power projection platform of the United States Navy. His superior performance of duties culminated his 26 years of honorable and dedicated military service. By his dynamic leadership, keen judgment, and loyal devotion to duty, Captain Schlarman reflected great credit upon himself and were keeping in the highest traditions of the United States Navy. For the President, signed C.S. Gray, Vice Admiral, United States Navy, Commander, Navy Installations Command. Please be seated. Captain Schlarman will now be presented with a token of appreciation from the Naval Station Norfolk Worker. On behalf of the Naval Station Norfolk Chiefs Mess, Command Master Chief Ian Thompson will now present Captain Schlarman a gift from the mess. Captain Schlarman will provide his remarks during the retirement portion of this ceremony. He will now read his orders.
From Commander Navy Personnel Command, Millington, Tennessee. Subject, Bucler's Orders 2000. When directed by reporting senior detachment duty as commanding officer, Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia, and report to all the soldiers.
I will now read my orders.
I have the last part because he said it.
From Commander Naval Personnel Command, Millington, Tennessee. Subject, Bucler's Orders 1925. When directed by reporting senior, report to commanding officer, Naval Station Norfolk, Virginia, as is relieved.
Captain Glenn's wife, Kimberly, please join Captain Glenn on the stage to place the command pin. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Ray Glenn, the commanding officer, Naval Station Norfolk.
All right, I don't say anything about the grass anymore. Concerned that I knew the permit was going to change from his name to my name. All right, good morning. Admiral Barnett, Admiral Dorsey, trying to hide back there in the back. Distinguished guests, Representative Kiggins, family, friends, and shipmates, and the incredible, unsinkable Naval Station Norfolk team. They say a change of command speech should have a good beginning, a good ending, and they should be as close together as possible. So I will endeavor to do my best. It's an absolute honor to stand before you today. But let's be clear, today is not about me. It's about bidding a fun and slightly reluctant farewell to a truly remarkable leader, Captain Matt Squeeze Slaughman. A tribute to a leader, mentor, and a friend. For 26 years, Squeeze has been a vital part of the United States Navy. His journey as an F-18 Growler NFO isn't just a line in his bio. It's a perfect description of his leadership style. And it's a testament to his character and his skill. He's one of the first in the fight, flying an aircraft that is critical to our success. The Growlers are the first one in, kicking down the door, jamming the enemy's ability to see or think, and paving the way for everyone else, setting the conditions for the rest of the strike group to succeed. And that's Squeeze in a nutshell. Always out front, taking the risk, and ensuring the success of the team. This dedication to the Navy, however, came at a cost. Time away from his incredible family. His wife, Kelly, and a family that's really been the bedrock of his success. Kelly's a dedicated mother, a master of logistics and morale, who kept the home front running flawlessly, allowing him to focus on the mission. His children, Ben, a steel welder at the shipyard. His daughter, Lucy, she's a cool one. And the track star Gabby, but my personal favorite, Avery, who thankfully inherited her dad's wicked sense of humor. He will now have time he so richly deserves with you and with his entire family, including his mother Darlene, his father Patrick, his sister Laura, and his in-laws Lisa and Tom. During his tour as commanding officer at Naval Station Norfolk, Squeeze's leadership has been nothing short of exceptional. He didn't just lead our team, he launched it into the stratosphere. He led our team to win the prestigious, as Admiral Barnett already mentioned, Installation Excellence Award. We hosted the President of the United States for the Titans of the Sea display and masterfully orchestrated the arrival and closing ceremony of Unitas, a feat pulled off in the middle of a tropical storm, but because apparently Squeeze also negotiates with Mother Nature. On a personal note, Squeeze, I will miss your trust. You empowered me as your XO to lead our team and execute the mission. Your guidance was invaluable, but man, the thing that I would really miss is your sense of humor. Your one-liners are going to go into history. For those of you who don't know, Squeeze is a master of the one-liner. So let me give you a few pearls of Squeeze wisdom. The first one, and everybody loves this one. Can't say the actual word, but you can't uncrap your pants. You can only clean up the mess. And that's a timeless truth for any crisis. One that he used a lot after we had to go to NJP, which wasn't very much. But he would always tell sailors, you're not judged by how far you fall, but truly how high you bounce after you hit rock bottom. And my absolute favorite, the one he pulled out to inspire our security forces when there was an inspection and the chips were down. I need you to fight like you were the third monkey trying to get on Norfolk. And can you envision that? That monkey like, no, y'all just take it too. I'm going. But Squeeze, most of all, man, I will miss your friendship. On behalf of a grateful installation and a grateful friend, I present you with this gift. Farewell and following seas, my friend. To the men and women of Naval Station Norfolk, to the department heads, the chief's mess, and every single person who makes Naval Station Norfolk the powerhouse that it is. You are the heart, soul, and engine of this entire operation. I know the challenges you face. You're wizards who keep this city running, often underfunded, undermanned, and armed with little more than duct tape and sure force of will. As the CNO has said, the Sure Enterprise is the foundry that forges mission success for the fleet. You don't just work in that foundry, you are that foundry. You're the fire and the steel. Your hard work and dedication ensure our warships and sailors are ready to fly. Please stand up for me, each and every one of you, and be recognized for the miracles that you perform every single day in an environment that you would not always set up to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, as they stand, that was order. Join me for a round of All right, y'all can sit. A special thanks to key members of our front office staff, magicians that are truly special. Miss Kelly Wolfel, who orchestrated events like this with a level of detail that would make a Swiss watchmaker jealous. Pulling each one of them off without a hitch because of her ability to ensure that every detail is taken care of. Also, our executive director, Dr. Leslie Jett, for his dedication in leading our civilian workforce and ensuring the installation doesn't miss a requirement. I want to extend a special thank you to CMC Ian Thompson. Your passion and commitment to the success of our installation and our sailors is unparalleled. It's the gold standard. Thank you for your leadership. I also want to welcome our new executive officer, Captain Brian Barbie Dahlquist. Barbie, I look forward to working alongside of you. My own journey to this stage has been a long one. Started when I enlisted in 1992 as a kid from a small town, Humboldt, Tennessee. Seeing shipmates in the audience from nearly every ship I've served on, Ticonderoga, yes, the Ticonderoga, I'm old. George Washington, Cole, Harry S. Truman, Oscar Austin, Gonzalez, and Nimitz. It's overwhelming for me. Thank you for being here. A special thank you to my Nimitz family for holding me up during the loss of my mother. Mike, Derek, Lou, Brian, and Pat, your support meant the world to me. No one gets here alone now. Leonard Oots, Kenyatta Counts, Jarrell Dorsey, Bill Sams, Tony Tillman, Janet Davis, and Janice Smith. Thank you. Thank you. I'm especially grateful to my group of fellow 506 XOs and COs, the Bourbon Boys. We have supported each other, collaborated, and kept each other on the right track. Your friendship and counsel are invaluable. To my local Born in Hampton Roads friends, including the Victory Rivers crew, my neighbors, and the small business owners in Norfolk I frequent that are here, like retired Master Chief Roland Lewis of Mr. Clean Uniform. Thank you for your unwavering support and encouragement. A special thanks to two people that have been friends of mine since around the age of 3 from my hometown that live in the area. My barber, my brother Keith Carroll, and another great friend, Mr. Toledo Jennings. Thank you guys for always praising my success and encouraging me. Thank you for always cheering me on while simultaneously keeping me humble. Nothing brings you back to earth faster than a haircut and a reminder of who you were before all of this. Service is in my DNA. In every generation of my father's family, the Sturtevants, as far back as we can trace, someone has answered the call to serve our nation, whether it be a man or a woman. I just happen to be the one who climbed the highest on the jungle gym today. Today, I want to thank you all for passing me that sense of service to our nation. I would also like to thank those that are no longer with us, my grandmother, my mother, and my father. Their memory inspires me daily. Of course, I could not do this without the love and support of those that are close to me, my in-laws, Deborah and Bruce Jenkins. My mother-in-law is simply the best mother-in-law in the world. Sometimes I think my friends only hang out with me to see her. I would also like to thank my sisters, Cassandra Bailey and Tracy Lennon, along with my brother-in-law, Greg Lennon. Tracy, you've always been my biggest supporter, and Greg, you're like a brother to me. To my brother, Mark Sturgeon, thank you for always showing up without me asking. I know you'll always be there. My daughter, London, couldn't be here, but her love fused me. And my son, Legend, thank you, man. Thank you for almost being perfect. But knowing you are watching me inspires me to be the man worthy of being your role model. Finally, I would not be here today without my incredible wife. She is not only my partner in life, but my peer in service. A fellow nuclear-trained surface warfare officer who has commanded her own ship and served as reactor officer. She understands the sacrifices and the triumphs of this life better than anyone. I'm amazed, Kim, at your strength and how you have melded our families together, even though we've spent a bulk of our time apart. Kim, truly, and sir, you need to listen to this part. Kim, the only things I fear in this world are God and losing you. Last and certainly not least, I do have to thank God for his blessings and continuing to watch over me, my family, and my career success. To the Naval Station Norfolk team, I'm humbled and honored to be your commanding officer. Now let's go to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the retirement ceremony in honor of Captain Matthew Schlarman and his 26 years of dedicated and faithful service. Captain Farman will now introduce his shipmate, mentor, and friend, Captain Retired Scott Farr.
All right. I swear there's only 3 speakers. But it'll be quick. Except for this guy. That's why I picked him. He's awesome. So Captain Scott Farr, United States Navy retired, is a nationally recognized leader with more than 30 years of experience across military operations, national security policy, acquisition, and aerospace industry. Graduate of SUNY Maritime with advanced studies at the Army Command and General Staff College and Harvard's Kennedy School, Captain Farr deployed 8 times in support of major combat and contingency operations, including Iraq and Afghanistan. He commanded at every level, most notably leading the Electronic Attack Wing U.S. Pacific Fleet, where he was responsible for the readiness and integration of over 150 aircraft and multinational forces supporting Indo-Pacific operations. His service has been recognized with numerous awards, including 2 Bronze Stars and 2 Legions of Merit. Since retiring from active duty, Captain Farr has continued to shape national security as a senior advisor at DARPA and as an executive at Boeing, where he built and led major contested logistics and advanced systems support programs. He currently serves as a principal and partner at Sentinel Horizon, focusing on advanced technology, integration, and joint operations solutions. The formal part's complete. Let me tell you a story about this guy. Many amazing things with him, and we really got to know each other when I was a placement officer down in Millington. You in the crowd know that pain. We're really saying home that he was really looking out for me. I was a commanding officer commanding my squadron off the USS Harry S. Truman in the Eastern Med, flying over Syria in 2018. And I had a pretty troublesome department head that I wrote a pretty scathing fit rep about. In a moment of actual pure genius, which I don't have very often, I sent it to Topper. I was like, hey, sir, you mind looking this over before I send it to you? And I can't lie to you, I'm sitting in my stateroom on an aircraft carrier at sea, probably River City Condition 1, if you guys know what that is. And my phone rings, and on the other end of that phone is Topper. And the whole time he was talking, all I could think was like, how the hell did you get a phone line into my stateroom on an aircraft carrier? So the man's a magician. So please, folks, if you will, please join me in welcoming Captain Scott Farr.
All right. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Great, Tom.
All right. Good answer. It's an honor to be here today to share some things about squeeze. Color in some of the black and white biography that you've read, that you've all, I'm sure, read in the program today. Now let's acknowledge the fact we got to cover 30 years because Academy grads throw in that 4 years on the front side. I'm not sure if that's valid, but we'll talk about that. It's a daunting task and time is limited, but I ask you to remember one thing in life: you get what you pay for, and there are strings attached. Squeeze asked me to breakfast about a year ago, and he said, I'll pay for it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's rare. And as we walk out, he's like, hey sir, having a change of command, wants you to be the guest speaker. So if he asks you to go out for dinner, for breakfast, or lunch, be advised, you may find yourself up in front of hundreds of people you don't know, trying very hard with a camera in the back not to go viral. So, this is a tribute to Squeeze, Kelly, Gabby, Ben, Lucy, and Avery. It's going to require active listening, so please prepare yourselves. Today you're going to get to know Squeeze a little bit better. Stick with me, because we're going to talk about Top Gun, physics, religion, sweating through your boots, emotional intelligence, the life-saving qualities of a Chick-fil-A sandwich, nouns and verbs, the history of ancient Greece, the state of Indiana, and our United States of America. All right? This is good. All right, most importantly, I'd like you all to think of the same 3 traits I do when I think of Squeeze: courage, leadership, and trust. And a wit that at times can overshadow everything else. But back to the virtues. These 3 virtues of courage, leadership, and trust make for one hell of a son, brother, husband, father, friend, and naval officer. A squadron mate who's here with us today, Leader Hoffman, some squeeze up like this. Quick to self-deprecate is a Chris Farley, Randy March style dumb guy from the Midwest who projects the heart of a Grinch with the emotional intelligence of an alligator, and yet nothing further from the truth. Matt grew up in Dubuque, Iowa. Think of him as Midwestern, grounded, practical. Or at least that was the case until he saw Top Gun in 3rd grade and decided right there and then he was going to fly jets. Practical? Not at all. Goal-oriented? Definitely. He was a standout in high school at the top of his class. Got a football scholarship offer from a local Iowa college you may have heard of. But that's all apparently because he let his sister Laura do his homework for him. During the application phase to the academy, he ended up in his congressman's office, and the congressman asked him, would he consider going to West Point or the Air Force Academy? Squeeze looked at him and said, I applied to the Naval Academy, I'm going there. And so he did. He landed there in the summer of 1997. Squeeze studied history, which in naval aviation is code for, well, he actually reads. Completed year, he discovered that his classmates also were all standouts in high school. The academy wasn't there to make him feel good. It was a crucible to harden them all for the challenges to come. The academics were tough, and A's that came so easily in high school weren't easy to come by. Again, verification of the fact that Laura did all his homework. But, well, still at Annapolis, religion and physics impacted penmanship and schlarman. See, this is when Squeeze found his faith. Chaps, does praying to pass physics quantify as finding faith? Yeah. Did Squeeze found faith? He didn't listen. The first time. Junior year, Squeeze hit his stride and the A's started rolling in. History 347, the Civil War and Reconstruction. Naval Science 310, Strategy and Tactics. Even PE 333. Folks, Forrest Gump had ping pong, Squeeze aced badminton. His much improved GPA earned him orders at NAS Pensacola, where he was tasked with learning how to navigate and operate complex systems in a jet. He earned his wings of gold in a slot in the electronic attack community, flying the BA-16 Prowler, and as Skipper said, no one does this alone. He did it under the guidance of his on-wing mentor in electronic attack legend, Scott Mongogenic, who's here with us today. All right, so electronic attack. Let's pause here and focus on Squeeze's warfare. The highly classified EA mission of the Prowler and the Growler. For those who are curious, Prowler and Growler crews don't just enter a fight, they redefine the terms. Success is measured not when everyone returns. Success is measured when everyone returns safe. Whether this is a Navy strike fighter, Air Force B-2 bomber, or soldiers and Marines on the ground. With that, Squeeze joined the BAQ community and began his life flying high-performance jet aircraft from patient carrier jets on the world's oceans. So here is where the first character trait that I asked you to remember, courage, comes into focus. Summer of 2004, USS George Washington. Patriots of BAQ-140 flying combat missions to counter the deadliest threat to U.S. ground forces, the improvised explosive device. They launch on a mission tasked with jamming IEDs to protect troops on the ground, moving through the Sunni Triangle from Al-Assad Air Base to Baghdad. As they're climbing out, they realize they have no cabin pressurization. The jet's down, there is no spare. They're technically cleared to return to mom and recover. That didn't matter. What mattered most was that there were Marines, sailors, and soldiers on the ground who were counting on them to provide top cover. They pressed, climbed out to 20,000 feet, generating enough airflow to barely keep the cockpit happy. They checked in overhead Al-Assad, dust, glare, mayhem on the radios, and they couldn't find the convoy. In a situation like this, the thought of flying back to the ship and calling uncle was completely reasonable. Then a junior guy guy in the crew chirps in and says, "Skipper, drop down and take a look." So down they go, below the combat mid-altitude, breaking some rules. Hot, convective, chop, fuel burn well above what was programmed, cockpit temperature exceeding 150 degrees. But none of that mattered. They found the cockpit. They climbed as high as they could to conserve gas, making the best that they could at 10,000 feet, and managed and still maintain contact. They were out of water within 2 hours. They were cooking in the greenhouse of the prowler's cockpit, dehydrating and wrung out. Inevitably, someone would make the good point that the heat sucked, and that then the junior guy would chime in and say, "You guys are soft, we can give them another 30 minutes." Then the next jet went down on deck. They didn't have a relief. The 4-hour mission became 5. By the time they were relieved off station, it felt like they'd run a marathon in Death Valley. They made it back to the ship, and the junior guy calmly talked the skipper into flying a rails pass. 3 things the crew will never forget about that hop. Opening the canopy, feeling 110-degree heat, 70% humidity, thinking it felt amazing. The wet footprints they tracked across the flight deck because they literally sweated through the soles of their boots. And the satisfaction knowing there were Americans on the ground in Iraq going home safely because they stayed on station. Squeeze was the junior guy in the crew that day. The root of the word courage means heart. Even though he was the junior guy in that jet, Squeeze showed courage and heart that day, motivating everyone to endure the adversity and finish the mission and make sure others came home safe. Squeeze and the crews he flew with were a team, and he did it right. He built a reputation during his first league tour with the Patriots, came through clearly in every paragraph. But then there's this emotional intelligence. Set the scene, full moon night, Northern Arabian Sea, smooth as glass, just off the coast of Pakistan. Legendary prowler pilot Eve Zender, who's with us here today, was 17 seconds from wrapping up a line period that looked like a putting green on the greenie board. Nothing but okay threes. And then, boom, bolter. As they climb out to 1,200 feet, Eve got over it, relaxed enough to say, "Man, I can't remember the last time I boltered." Squeeze chimed in, "Oh, I do, dude. It was like 30 seconds ago." Good job, baby. All right. So after leaving his first electronic attack squadron, the Patriots, Squeeze and Kelly moved between Lemoore, Whidbey, transitioned to the EAT&G. They went to Kansas City for grad school and a master's, and during all that, they were blessed with the arrival of Gabby, Ben, Lucy, and Peter. Following a department tour at the Scorps at DAQ 132, Team Schlarman landed in Tennessee, where Squeeze served as a placement officer, making sure the commands on the flight line were fully manned to execute the mission. One hot Tennessee day, Squeeze was at his desk, reallocating money to make moves happen across the naval aviation enterprise. He was sweating more than many of us here today. He was sweating like a turkey before Thanksgiving. Group mate Bozo looked at him and said, "Dude, you okay?" Squeeze admitted, "I feel funky." "Hey, does this look weird to you?" Mistake number 1, showed him a welt on his leg. Bozo immediately replied, "Dude, you should have that looked at." "Huh, nah, it's probably just bad coffee. Maybe I need a Chick-fil-A Sammy, you in?" "Sure, I'll drive." So Bozo pump face replaces Chick-fil-A with the emergency room. 48 hours later, having been admitted to St. Francis Mulcahy Bartlett Medical Center with a massive fever, loss of fluid, sedated, and his skin necrotizing due to a brown recluse spider bite, Squeeze showed up back at work with a bag of Chick-fil-A sandwiches in hand, tossed one to Bozo, said, "Sorry it took so long." This proves 3 things. First, Squeeze is tougher than he needs to be, and not as smart as he needs to be. Second, it's great to have people looking out for you so you can actually make it to retirement. And third, never question the life-saving qualities All right. Well, at the Bureau, Squeeze was selected for the pinnacle of every naval aviator's career, command of the AQ-137, the Rooks. I asked his XO, Bagger McCarty, who's here with us today, when he saw Squeeze at his best. And what he told me did not surprise me at all. He demonstrated the second character trait that I asked you to remember, leadership. In the Navy, we tend to label positions of authority as a leadership position. That makes it a noun and diminishes it. The fact of the matter is that the root of the word to lead means to go forward and to die. It means taking risks. That's an active word and it's a verb. It's hard. A skipper is constantly balancing what's legal, what's moral, what's ethical to get to what's right for the squadron and the mission. Case in point, Squeeze's squadron can only be described as a creatively dynamic employment version of a deployment. 3.5 months into a regular 8-month deployment, they came back for 5 weeks for what was labeled as a working port call. Then right back out for another 4 months at sea. The Rooks were based on the West Coast, but deployed out of here at Naval Station Norfolk. Senior Navy authorities wanted to keep the Rooks jets at Oceana and the squadron billeted on the ship in Norfolk during that 5-week interval. While the other East Coast squadrons were able to be home with their families, rightfully so. On paper, at the higher level, it looked efficient. In reality, it would not just have crushed morale, it would have cratered the squadron's mission effectiveness. Squeeze made a decision, calmly and directly. We're not doing that, we're going home. So they did. He understood something simple. Operational excellence does not require unnecessary hardship. It's a risk standing up for what's right when the boss has a not so great idea. But if you put your sailors first, they will take care of the mission. Good things happen when you do that, and happen in the place. They won the coveted Triple Crown, the Battle Efficiency E, the C&O Aviation Safety S, and the Admiral Arthur W. Bradford Award, recognizing Squeeze's Rooks as the best electronic attack squadron in the Navy out of 15 squadrons. Folks, in the 58-year history of the electronic attack community, that has only happened a handful of times. In the 53-year history of the Rooks, it has happened only once. A team doesn't win all three by accident. A team wins it by having a courageous leader who the whole command trusts. The Navy places tremendous responsibility in its commanding officers. Skipper, congratulations. And earning that responsibility is the third character trait about Squeeze that I want to talk about, trust. Trust is earned, it's never given. And it takes years to develop. And it can be gone in a flash. The root of the word means to be solid, firm, steadfast. Squeeze was selected for major command here at Naval Station Norfolk because he demonstrated superior performance and had earned the trust of his superiors, his officers, his chiefs, and his sailors. Ships and aircraft may win battles, but naval stations win wars. Commanding a shore installation is the ultimate in self-sacrifice. It's about stewardship and putting other commands first so that they can go forward armed and ready to execute the assigned mission. Thousands of sailors and families depend on systems working every single day. Infrastructure, logistics, readiness. It's kind of like being at the power company. No one calls up to say, hey, the power's on, thanks. No spotlights, no kudos, just attention to detail and trusting in the professionalism of a lot of people. Who does a command trust with a command that has to provide ships, submarines, and aircraft to win the nation's battle? The guy who sets his expectations for the security department inspection by saying, fight like you're the third monkey trying to get on Noah's Ark. And it's starting to rain.
Commander-in-Chief's Installation Excellence Award as the best case in community. So we've talked about courage, leadership, and trust. We know Squeeze was a history major. So now we're going to talk about a lesson from the ancient Greeks that's applicable to Squeeze's retirement today. During the Greco-Persian Wars, Persia embarked on a campaign to destroy democracy by conquering Greek city-states and installing tyrants to rule each of them as vassals. In 480 BC, the Persian king Xerxes led a 1 million-man land and naval force to conquer the Greeks. After several days of fighting, the Greeks were in a tough spot. Spartan king Leonidas had to select a group of warriors to fight a delaying action against the Persians at Thermopylae, buying the Greek army time to pull back, regroup, and re-attack. It was a no-fail mission. Chances of survival were slim. One would think that Leonidas would have selected the strongest, most capable warriors to give him the best chance for success. Partly true. The warriors Leonidas selected had one thing in common: strength. But they weren't the strongest warriors physically. They were the warriors who came from the strongest families. For Leonidas knew that when the battle was decided, the family would be the force that preserved democracy. Pat, Darlene, Laura, Elizabeth, and Eric, who instilled a love of history in Matt and is, as we say in aviation, up in high holding, looking down on his little brother with pride today. Thank you for being there from the beginning and setting the example for Matt to follow. You're the foundation that got Matt to this day. He represents the very best the nation has to offer. By choosing to serve, your son and brother wrote a blank check to this great nation, payable up to and including his life. As a father myself, that's hard to say. But as an American, I am grateful and humbled by the commitment that you forged. You did good. Now let's talk Indiana State history, specifically New Harmony, Indiana. Tom and Lisa, you raised Kelly in New Harmony, and clearly the shared purpose and commitment of that special place was instilled in her. For those in the crowd not familiar, New Harmony was founded in the 1800s as a town based on shared purpose and commitment. Mary, you generously gave up your spring breaks to watch the kids and allowed Kelly and Matt a brief getaway or two between deployments and moves. I want you to know that Kelly's an example for all to follow, a constant source of strength, grace, quiet leadership. No family reaches a day like today without those values. And as I said to the Schlarmans, Kelly, when you and your friends walked into Harpo's bar in Chesterfield karaoke night, are you expecting to see four dashing, overconfident young men desperately trying to be the center of attention? Was it flight suits they were wearing at the air show? Or was it when they serenaded you with "You've Lost That Loving Feeling" that made you think, that blonde one, it might have potential? Seriously. That was great. Yeah. Great. All right. The leader of my best. All right. Kelly, you clearly have a sense of adventure because with the Allman Brothers band setting up the beat, you were off for quite a spin on the dance floor. Every naval aviator's career has two paths. One in the squadron with their squadron mates and one at home. Long deployments, unpredictable schedules, 9 moves from coast to coast. The stress that comes home, whether it's acknowledged or not, Kelly, you've flown every one of those hops. You've raised 4 children through 9 moves, through absences, missed birthdays, and an overabundance of uncertainty. The Navy sees a uniform. You see the human being inside. You studied that. The same character traits that define whose profession define your own. You provided the grounding that made this day possible. Sharing him with the Navy is now in the rearview mirror. You, my friend, did good. Ben, Gabby, Avery, possibility that few ever see and even fewer understand. Here's what I want you to know. Father's medals, they're impressive. His flight hours are impressive. But the thing his peers respect most is courage, his leadership, his refusal to cut corners, his trust. Before have done things lots of kids never get to do. Lived an adventure. You have a dad who devoted himself to something bigger, but always kept you at front and center. Take that to heart and enjoy your time with him now. You will all learn. You've done good. Squeeze. You asked for this. It's about time to go, and you've earned it. Never forget who you are or where you come from. Those who serve in the U.S. military are descendants of a very old tradition that dates back to the beginning of Western civilization itself. For thousands and thousands of years in the ancient world, humanity was encased in a repeated and terrible cycle of slavery, tyrannical kings, and apocalyptic warfare. Just over 2,000 years ago, the Greeks began to break away from that old, devastating way of life. There had to be a better way to live and a better way to prosper as a society. One of the first Greek philosophers, Plato, wrote a book titled The Republic, where he laid out his vision for the ideal state. In this republic, there would be three types of citizens: rulers, producers, and lastly, the guardians. Plato explained that in a time of peril, these sophisticated guardians, who trained daily for war, would climb up onto the walls of the city and defend the citizens of that state from anyone who tried to attack it. The idea that this Greek republic would survive was no given. The Persian Empire possessed a slave army of over 1 million people. The Greeks were outnumbered, but that was not the most important thing to them. Their freedom was. Prior to the Battle of Plataea, facing the Persians, each Greek soldier willingly took an oath: I shall fight to the death if needed, and I shall not count my life more valuable than freedom. America is also a republic. Her walls are the oceans that surround her, and you were her guardian. You sailed upon the sea, and you slipped the surly bonds of earth to protect her. Your oath of office is derived from the same vein as the Plataean Creed. Dedicated yourself to the defense of the Constitution, the protection of our fellow Americans, and a promise to remain faithful no matter the cost. The stories of the Greeks have survived through the millennia because of the honor, courage, and commitment they had to help change the world, to keep people free, and to protect their way of life. Our American story will survive because of people like you. You spent mundane days amongst the maintenance schedules, flight schedules, blue folders, watch standing, and flying. It's easy to forget what you were actually doing. You spent a career ready to go out into the dangerous world and do hard things that are necessary at times for the sake of our country and the American people. Your achievements as a warrior are many. Take pride in that, because they came at great risk to your life. You were made for this time, for times such as this. Most reasonable people run from danger. Some people even freeze at the sight of it. But a few, and only a few, they fly towards it. They're history's ultimate guardians. We are celebrating that here today. God bless each of you. God bless America, and God bless the Shalom family.
Will Admiral Barnett and Captain Swarman please come to the front of the stage for presentations of the retirement certificates. Oh, so this is Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America, To all who shall see these, present greetings. This is to certify that Captain Matthew T. Schwarman, having served faithfully and honorably, will retire from the United States Navy on the 31st day of May. Signed, Jeffrey J. Zwerko, Vice Admiral, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Kelly, Ben, Lucy, Gabby, Avery, you please join your husband and father here at the front of the stage, along with Rear Admiral Barnett. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy to all who shall see these presents greetings. This is to certify that Captain Schwarman's wife, Kelly, children Ben, Lucy, Gabby, and Avery have earned grateful appreciation for their unselfish, faithful, and devoted service during Captain Schwarman's career. Their unfailing support and understanding helped make possible his lasting contributions to the Navy. Signed, S.C. Barnett, Rear Admiral, United States Navy. Commander, Naval Legion of Honor. Captain Schwarman's daughter Avery will now provide remarks on behalf of the family.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Avery. I'm Mac's youngest. There are many words you could use to describe my dad. Hardworking, funny, and caring are just some of the many. But above all, one word sticks out. That word is dedicated. Whether deployed, working in the Pentagon, or commanding the most extensive naval base in the world, there's no doubt that his dedication and work ethic has brought him to where he is today. My dad has always taught me to give everything you have into what you're doing, because if you're going to do it half-assed, just don't do it at all. And of course, he followed this up with leading by example. My whole life, I've watched my dad lead with integrity, take control in times of crisis, and make the most complex parts of his job look easy. And I can't imagine a better example of what military personnel should look like, because he has shown nothing short of extreme endurance and dedication. Most of you here today know him as Captain Schwarman or Squeeze. I just know him as Dad. I can't even begin to describe how incredibly lucky I feel to be able to say that. Because while deployed or working late or really busy, he's always made it known how much he loves me and how proud he is of me. So today, I get to congratulate and celebrate my dad, who is the reason I never once have had to wonder if someone loves or cares about me. His dedication not only shaped his career, but also my life. In my view of what family and unconditional love really looks like. Growing up, a question I was often faced with was, how do you feel about being a military child? And while I think it could be easy for me to look back and feel a sense of resentment or anger towards the Navy and the role it has played in my life, I can't help but feel anything short of extreme gratitude. Gratitude towards all the opportunities this life has given me, and even more gratitude towards the people it has brought into my life. People like the Crawfords, the Ostrands, and the Baldersons, and so many more who have opened up their lives and home to us when we needed it. 2 years ago, I was assigned to write an essay about the best gift I have ever received. I wrote about how in 2015, my dad was deployed and supposed to miss Christmas. A few days before Christmas, however, my dad came home early to surprise us. I now realize that my dad coming home is not the best gift I've ever received, but rather the best gift I've ever received is my dad. His dedication, not only to me, but my family, is unwavering. He's willing to give up any and everything to ensure we have what we not only need, but what we want. And the sacrifices he has made for us are countless. I can't stand before you and talk about sacrifice without a moment for my mom. Mom, you're the strongest, most resilient woman I know. And I want to say thank you for holding our family together during deployments and long nights without Dad. love you. And I know we don't like to admit it, but this life has not always been easy. So thank you guys for being the most funny, chaotic, and loyal people I know. You've all made this life not only easier, but so much fun. I'm so incredibly proud of the work my dad has done during his career. From flying to commanding and every stop in between just gives me more reasons to not only be proud of him, but brag about him. Being a military child has instilled a certain sense of pride in me, not only for this country, but the people who work to protect it, along with the silent and behind-the-scenes battles they fight every day. To Dad, maybe I'm standing in front of you, but I want to say thank you. Thank you for defending this country. Thank you for putting us first, but most of all, I want to say thank you for being the dad most only have to be half as good. Dad, we followed you across the country and stood by you for every deployment as you answered the call. But I am so incredibly and unimaginably proud of the legacy you leave behind. But I am also selfishly excited for this next chapter with no PCS moves and more time with you. You've earned this, and I love you. The time.
Thank you very much, everybody. Public services announcement. All parents, please call your kids on the way home today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Captain Matt Schlarman.
All right, thank you. I'm the last speaker today, if you're wondering, so I can all breathe a sigh of relief. But it's going to be almost impossible to follow up the previous two speakers, especially the one I'm very fond of who just spoke before me. Avery, that was outstanding. Thank you so much. All right, let's roll this thing. First I want to thank everybody for coming here today, and I'm going to ask you if you will allow me to talk about a career, the only career that I have ever known. And I first heard that statement from my buddy B when he retired over a year ago out of China Lake. And when he said it, it was very appropriate, because ladies and gentlemen, this is the only thing I've ever done. Graduated high school in Johnny, almost 30 years ago. So, B, hopefully I said it better than you, probably. Not bragging. But to do this speech here, I mean, you've heard about my career and everything else, so this is really just kind of I know you hate these types of speeches, but this is one where I thank a lot of people. Yeah, I'm calling you out. I got you. You're right there. All right? But I mean, if you'll allow me to thank some folks here, because I wouldn't be standing here, I wouldn't have the career I had without the folks I'm about to call out that have helped me throughout my 26 plus 4 academy career. My topper. But first off, I want to welcome a few people. Mr. and Mrs. John and Vicki Wardell, my sponsor parents at the Naval Academy. I want to thank you for taking a pretty homesick kid from Iowa into your home. You guys are awesome. When my parents were away from my parents, and I don't know how you did it, but when my flights got delayed, you magically showed up at PWI every time to pick me up and take me to the academy. And then let me hang at your house that summer when I had to do physics twice. It was great. Also, I want to welcome the parents and the older brother of my best friend since the 8th grade, Jeremy Deere. So Carol and Frank, there you are, I see you in the back, and I see DJ in the back. DJ, you probably don't know, but you saved me from getting my ass kicked at the Kennedy Mall parking lot when I was a senior in high school. I love 5 dudes. Yeah, it's a great story. Thank you for that. All right? Didn't wake up looking this good, folks. My academy roommate Fro that's here, Tina from Medina. Appreciate you coming down, man, from DC. Love you, brother. 4 years together, 3 years roommates, we got shotgun together as please. And then my other good buddy, Jared Gould, who I met as a youngster, we came up through there. So Jared Gould, middle school Gould, we used to call him, I can't remember why we called him middle school Gould, but it's probably pretty funny at the time. Thanks for coming down, guys. It's awesome to have you here for the last thing. To all our great friends and family that travel from out of town, welcome to Norfolk, all right? I don't know if you can say that. I do have a special shout out to our neighbors across the street from Anacortes, Jason and Chelsea Osteen. While I was away, most of my CO tour deployed or working up or doing anything else, you were there for Kelly and the kids, and I couldn't be. And Kelly has told me multiple times that she couldn't have got through without you. So from the Schwarman family, I'm trying to find you. I had you earlier and I lost it. There you are. From the Schwarman family, thank you for being more than just neighbors. You're a true lifeline to us and some great friends. So thanks for coming out. And the Seahawks fans, so they're extra happy to be here too. Yeah. From the fleet, which included tours and Patriots, Vikings, the Scorps, and of course, the world famous Brooks. I want to say thanks to the guys I consider my brothers, holding colorful names like the Bee over there. Yeah. Big John, who couldn't make it today, Bleeder's there. He looks like Uncle Si if you're looking for him. He's gonna go shoot some ducks later. Coach there. Mongo, who's my on-way and advanced jet training in the same squadron together, man. And then just a great dude. Cricket, my roommate, and some other colorful names, but I think Channel 13 is reporting this right now, so I can't say. My boy Fokker Scott, where you at there, brother? Dude, I still remember the time we took off out of Hickam and we almost ejected over Diamond Head because your bag of Doritos exploded and we caught our engines. Yeah, that'll tighten you up a little bit, folks. All right? That'll tighten you up a little bit. All right? My boy Bagger, D-Bag, we've been through, sorry. Oh, whatever, that's a small sign. It doesn't mean what you think. But Bagger, we've been together, man. We served the Growler Rag together. We were department heads together. And I was honored to have you as my CO, man. So, you're an outstanding dude. And when you meet him, he doesn't say a lot until you get a couple of beers and then he doesn't shut up. But you are a great confidant, man. You know, I was a history major and breathing, this isn't just reading, folks. I also breathe through this most of the time. He was there to help me out for a lot of stuff, man. You're an outstanding friend, and you were a great dude. Still are a great dude, right? Doc Schwartz. Doc was probably Doc Schwartz here was a flight surgeon during when I was my department head tour. The greatest flight surgeon. Flight surgeons are like tax preparers, You want them to be like 90% legit and about 10% shady, and you were great. You were great, dude. Kept me vertical. The VA thanks you as well. And multiple other folks, including Topper sitting up here, man. Dude, great speech. I love you, man. It was great. As my mentor there. There were times when I was in Millington, these are very colorful guys that I already know, but there were times when Francis was out in the crowd there. Francis, I forgot to mention, how could I forget that? You're the tallest looking guy out there. But Francis and I would just call him and put him on speakerphone and try to get him worked up and give the whole office something to listen to. So, it was great. And then, not just flying tours, but my one short tour that really stood out the most, and it's the guys that hung out with me in prison cell 2 Delta 920 in the United States, in the Pentagon there, on the Joint Staff Budget Affairs team. Big Worm, Big Burn, Tim Aragon, the landlord, I saw him back there. And then multiple other guys. Big Van Holder, he's about to deploy next week. He's a C-17 CO. He came in for this, man. Thanks. That was a rough 3 years. That was a really rough 3 years, but we made it through. And the only way we made it through is the team we had inside that office. And so I really thank you, all right? To my in-laws, Tom and Lisa, brother and sister-in-law, Justin and Mary, and my niece and nephew, Maddie and Jack. So if Jack is asleep, we're playing Pokemon under the chair. So I got you. Thanks for making the trip out here. I truly appreciate everything you do. And most importantly, I truly appreciate that every time you show up, bacon is back on the menu, all right? And it's not that turkey crap either, folks. It's the real bacon. So it's awesome, all right? I want to say welcome to my sister-in-law, Elizabeth, here. The widow of my late brother, Eric, who passed away from us 4 years ago, taken from us 4 years ago, unexpectedly. And there's nothing more I'd love to have him here with us today. to celebrate with us, but, I know he's looking down on us right now, so thanks for coming in. To my sister Laura, she doesn't like when I call her my little sister, but hey, I got the microphone, so my little sister Laura, I'm so proud of the amazing person and educator you've become. I love you and admire your passion for shaping young minds, your determination and drive as you balance the demanding roles of both a teacher and a librarian are truly inspiring to witness. So, love you, Laura. Thank you. To my mom and dad, thanks for instilling in me the drive to never give up. Watching you guys, and yes, I did watch you guys as I grew up, I gained a great understanding of resiliency. But more importantly, if you work hard enough, you can attain anything. Even when I wanted to quit the academy, which was multiple times in a day, it's awesome, huh? It's great. Mom, your words to me of, don't worry if you fall asleep saying your prayers, because God will finish them for you. A quote I would carry with me on the planes. Remind me that I was not alone, and that even when I stumbled, you were there to help me back up. So thank you. Ben, Lucy, Gavin, Neighbor, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you and the bright young adults you are becoming. You can be a pain in the butt most times, but I will tell you, no one celebrated your victories or felt your setbacks more than your mother. All right? And I look forward to when I can kick you all out of my house and you begin to take your own All right. The big one's coming. Kelly, my better half. I thought I had it all figured out, but I was the sharpest wit in the room. Then I met you. We met the old-fashioned way, which was at a bar, folks, not online. And from that moment, you became the center of my world. For the last 20 years, you haven't just been by my side, you've been my partner in every sense of the word, sharing every challenge and celebrating every victory. The truth is, I wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for you. Every success I've had is a reflection of your unwavering support and belief in me. I know you prefer I didn't make a scene, and in fact, those were your exact words in the car to me a couple of days ago, that I shouldn't say anything, but we all know I'm a little bit tone deaf on certain tones of your voice that I can't hear. But I couldn't stand up here without telling you in front of all these people how much I love you, and how much you love me. I love you. Ray, Mommy and Ray. I'm not gonna lie, I came into this job a little bit, I hope I'm not pissed off all the swells. I came into this job a little concerned, working for a swell, Janet, great swell, Ray, and Ray. But I'll tell you, folks, swells aren't so bitter when they're on land. It's awesome. Yeah. But great job, man. I major props for being the best ringleader of this circus here in his mind. So, especially during the Navy Sea Power Demo chaos, which we all know was when at one point I remember walking out on the pier and you had all of the White House production team lined up and you were telling them how it was going to go. It was awesome. But seriously, your leadership was top notch. And your take charge demeanor is what every commanding officer hopes for their excellence. All right. Barbie, you have some ridiculously big shoes to fill with this man, all right? And have fun trying to keep up with him. Because he's like, the Energizer Bunny on multiple cans of Monster. But I'm definitely going to miss our conversation. But most importantly, the amount of times we just laughed. Because we couldn't cry anymore. But the amount of times we just laughed about things that were going on in this case, all right? I need to call a couple other folks here. So Kelly Werfel of PAM, standing in the backpack. Everyone look at her. The national manager of the largest events from ship homecomings with over 20,000 extra attendees is coming on base to welcome their families home. Fleet Fest has been nothing short of remarkable. I know you're the best because Beth over at Region is constantly trying to borrow you for her other high-profile innovations. All right, so you know you're good then. But you're an outstanding person and an outstanding leader, and I could not have done my job, and I know Ray can't do his job without what you do as a PA. So great job. All right, Doc J. First name's Leslie, and I made the mistake of saying hi, ma'am, to him on the phone. On my first call, which he quickly corrected me. But what can I say? You spoke perfect Swede, which is slow single syllables and small sentences. which is a clear reflection of your passion for ensuring that this base was appropriately manned and everything else we needed to do out there. You flawlessly executed your duties as the Installation I-9, and I know that was your favorite duty because you told me you hated it every day. And a title that he wasn't particularly fond of, but he did a great job. That is an absolute honor to serve with you. CNC, where you at? Usually you hear him before you sing. Who's it? Okay. I affectionately called you Happy. Why? Because everyone kept telling me how angry your resting face seemed to be. Alright? And I would always tell him, hey, he's a snipe. He's used to being down in the engine room. He's not used to being up seeing the sun all the time. So he's probably just squinting at us. That's why he looks angry all the time. But beneath that tough exterior, your love for our sailors was always clear. As you understood, they didn't need just another friend, but a leader who would look out for them and hold them accountable. You are the exact kind of leader that the Navy needs. Great job. Yeah. And I know you're getting a great Region 6. Please go do me. All right, Naval Station Norfolk. I know y'all stand up stood up here. I've always lived by the simple model. I don't need a team of superheroes. I just need good people willing to give me an honest day's work. But as I stand here today, I realize that what I got and all of you was so much more. Every day, I have the privilege of being surrounded by real-life superheroes. I've heard from other commands, people who look at the challenges we face and say, I'm sure glad I'm not used to this. But let's be clear about what that really means. When they say that, it's not out of pity, it's out of awe. They're glad that they're not us because they knew they couldn't possibly perform the level that you do, day in and day out. And what a performance it's been. Here at Naval Station Norfolk, you just didn't meet expectations, you shattered them. You were the calm in the storm, welcoming over 250 families from around the globe when they had to be evacuated during times of crisis, as we were the main port of entry back into the United States. And most importantly, their pets, all right? Which is a huge logistical thing. But you showcased the might of our Navy to the entire world during the Titans of the Sea demo for our 250th birthday, Navy's 250th birthday, flawlessly hosting the President, Secretary of the War, Secretary of the Navy, and the Chief of Naval Operations all on the same day. You brought joint community to our base, managing everything from massive concerts, artists like Dirk Bentley, Jelly Roll, who now looks like Spring Roll because he lost a lot of weight, and Gwen Stefani. And Gwen Stefani to our beloved Fleet Fest and the emotional homecomings of our Carrier Strike Group and Squad. Every single one of these moments, every challenge is met, and every victory earned contributed directly to this command winning the 2025 Commander-in-Chief's Installation Excellence Award. That award is a testament to your relentless dedication and unparalleled excellence. Thank you for making the impossible look easy. Folks, I love being in the United States Navy, because if it wasn't for the Navy, I never would have met some of the best friends and mentors, true patriots everywhere. If it wasn't for the Navy, I would not have gotten the chance to work with some of the finest civilian employees whose dedication to this country and mission are unmatched. If it wasn't for the Navy, I would not have had the chance to test myself as a human being and been allowed to succeed, but more importantly, allowed to fail. And with that failure, learn that not all setbacks are permanent, and in most cases, a springboard to larger success. Most importantly, if it wasn't for the Navy, I never would have met the love of my life. So today I say farewell. Today, as I hang up this uniform for the final time, I'm not filled with sadness, although it looks like there's a time, but with profound and immense pride. It's the pride knowing that I stood among a small fraction of our nation's citizens who have earned the privilege to wear its cloth. A commitment to protect and defend the very ideals our forefathers enshrined 250 years ago this year. I have been a guardian of that legacy. To have been a guardian of that legacy has been an honor of a lifetime. So God bless everybody in this room. God bless the United States Navy. And most importantly, God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
In keeping with Navy tradition, a flag is often presented to a service member upon retirement. Navy Region Mid-Atlantic Honor Guard will now conduct a two-man flag folding ceremony. This flag was flown over Naval Station Norfolk on February 23rd, 2026.
Oh, beautiful, our heroes proved in liberation. Who more than self their country loves, and mercy more than
Commander-Master Chief Ian Thompson, Commander-Master Chief of Naval Station Norfolk, will now recite the watch.